be the last time they played, it was in Madrid, and it was this exact same map pool.
The only difference was Monnier. I mean, he had big shoes to fill, and I feel like there could be a premise of Jing being EDG's Achilles heel potentially in this series. These changes to the compositions, though, EDG, they normally run a Brimstone on this. So the Omen, I mean, now he's going to be able to smoke across the map.
Aggressive TPs, you know what else? They will have up their sleeve.
Such a fast pace already from PRX.
It's the Paper X way, man. Look at how well they've sectioned off the side already. They've teed it, put it into quarters. Forsaken will fall, though, but the utility was up.
I have to spike.
Good job isolating the Harbor on that short A. And now PRX, they get the bomb down, but they're kind of trapped right now. They're pincered.
Starting to see some spam come through as Jing will fall. EDG holding strong. They still have plenty of numbers to go against this as Devi and something. The remaining pieces of this puzzle that EDG are to solve will crumble. The pistol the way of EDG.
Great opening pistol for EDG. They look way more confident than they did yesterday. And there's some life in this arena now, man. That was crazy. Every single kill Kong got. Just a roar of thunder in the arena. Look at these shots. He looks way better.
One enemy remaining.
They were ready for this. I mean, that isolation in short A, getting that kill onto Forsaken, that made it so PRX was just trapped. They did get bomb money down, though, and that's why you see something investing into this Marshall. But on the flip side, I mean, really healthy buy from EDG.
Again, the last two times these teams met, it was this exact same map pool. The one maybe wrinkle in that is it was Sunset first and then Bind second. And EDG walked away with the win on Bind.
Yeah.
Was a completely different composition for EDG as well, though. They ran a single smoke comp with just a Brimstone, and it was kind of dually. Oh my gosh.
Well, the duels are going the way of EDG this time.
Kong came ready to play today.
Satchel out.
Oh, he wants more.
That Satchel. As the flash paves the way, the kills come through. Kong with 4, and EDG with their second.
Showstopper online already. That could be really impactful in a round like this, the bonus round for EDG. And again, Smoggy can upgrade. This is like a whole different team right now. Maybe just more familiar with the playstyle of PRX, more confident in general playing against them.
We've talked about this a couple of times. Elimination also just forces the best out of you.
Yeah.
Right? You play to win instead of not to lose, and I know it's early, but it seems to be the approach that EDG has brought into this series. Now the showstopper used. Kong will find nothing but space, but it's space that they will gladly take.
Yeah, it forces PRX to have to take Octagon control, and now they're trapped once more.
Wow. If not for that stimmy, a couple of members there may have died. All gonna TP back to Smoggy, who's waiting on the other side with the Sheriff.
That's
to boot.
it.
He's about to have his hands full. Patient. The blind is too much.
Good reaction from PRX. And Jing, he has something to say.
Pushing
to
the
Kong.
Pushing the pace and getting up into heaven, getting another kill with it, but EDG on the counterpunch. Smoggy on the swing. PRX, a great response.
It's a risky one, though. You don't know what's on the other end at that A site. They got a little fortunate here that Smoggy was only there with that Sheriff. But they did have a lot of good utility when they actually took the A site. I mean, we see that Reyna layer come out. It's not every day you play against that. I mean, it probably is for EDG. They're so used to playing against the Reyna on Bind. I'm sure they scrim against PRX quite a bit.
But little discipline like that, like coming out of showers and checking that box, right? Those little things that often go unchecked or unthought of in high-pressure situations. Well done on PRX to make sure that is the case. Meanwhile, an op online, round 4 for Kong.
He's so deadly with this gun, too. You imagine something's going to have to jiggle, but he gets taken out. No utility.
He had almost got past it. Well handled there. Jing using his rocket, connecting onto 2. They were sitting ducks with nowhere to go. And Devi continues to pile it on.
What? It's outrageous.
That shot is ridiculous. Smoggy will be forced to convert into a 1v3. never saw would hit him.
And if this is what we're in store for, this back and forth, this constant battle, this is going to be an amazing series. I'm so excited for the future. What a response from Jing, though, with this rocket getting 2.
And then,
yeah,
and then again, Devi hitting those 2 shots. That last one, the most impressive.
That'll put EDG on a scrappy little bye. I'm surprised EDG aren't giving Kong the Spectre with what he did yesterday. I mean, it seemed like that was like the only saving grace that we witnessed.
It felt like his best weapon.
Yeah. But here we're seeing a double flash setup, maybe even triple flash setup. And PRX are running straight into this.
EDG happy to stack this.
Wow.
Given all the noise that's been made, given all of the info that Kong has on the other side of the site, but they're going to continue. They're going to try to persist and pursue out onto the site. Jing onto the satchel, trying to get across. But now, reconsidering, realizing that you've lost the rest of the map. Once again, they hit the TP, and they're going to find a vacant side A.
And they actually cycled that up onto something who's just going to post up for his teammates while he plants the bomb.
No real info of what's happening on the other side, so Kong is still on the prowl. A Sheriff, though, not the weapon you want in a situation like this. Paper X glad to dig their heels in, hang on to the site. Assume their post plants, the duelist is done for.
There.
Chichu and Smoggy will likely just fall to the spike.
1 enemy remaining.
Or to the hands of Mind Freak.
We'll just try to do some type of damage if you can. That helps.
Yeah.
And just like that, PRX clean up that round. That's 2 times in a row now that PRX have had to pivot into that teleporter and hit the A site. So I'm wondering now for EDG if they're going to read ahead to that. If they see that B long default and maybe keep a trap play outside of showers to punish that. And the attack op, something, he likes to do this on almost every single map. He's going to be met by Kong, maybe not in this specific duel, but maybe later in the round.
Yeah, we start to see their setups on the map now.
Kong
will have the op towards showers. Meanwhile, something on the opposite side. Paper X with a lot of presence towards B here.
Yeah.
Blinded.
There was a faint wall towards the A side of the map, but I think EDG, they know that Paper X like to feint with that wall.
Yeah, they've done it a couple times now.
Whoa.
I suggest you move.
A little scary for nobody there, but Jing.
The Reckoning invested. Jing tried getting out and finding space. Paper X, though, they've slammed their faces into the wall. They haven't really been able to get out, but they are getting the frags that they need. Now creeping forward, Smoggy playing on the other side of the smoke. It's going to get clotheslined. Again, a situation where he didn't really realize where the pressure was coming from. And now they're going to hunt down Kong. He's got the op in hand. He's going to have to do his damnedest to try to hang on to it. Mind Freak will cross. Devi will too. Spotted him. Lands the shots. Now hunting for a second. Cannot connect. Mind Freak with 3 as Paper X got another.
Paper X got 3 kills spamming through the smoke from hookah onto site. That is not something you see every day.
No.
I mean, a bit of a twist of fate in their favor for sure. Look at this. Oh, he did see the tracers though, but a collat?
Yeah, that's tough, man.
And then spam off of the Seekers. I mean, good job. I don't know what else to say in this moment. Early timeout for EDG. I don't think they have, to worry too much right now. I mean, it's definitely a way better start than the last time they played. But it is their map pick, and if you let PRX on the attacking side dictate the pace, it could get out of hand. So I think this is a really good timeout from the side of EDG. And now maybe the name of the game should be a little bit more proactivity, maybe bait out on those B long pushes, bait out a little bit of utility. You can flash early on, back up, and then re-clear once more. Because PRX, they were playing for that trap play that we saw in the eco round with the triple flash.
I agree with you on EDG are still okay. There's still plenty to play in this half, but I think you're right on the other side of the coin as well, where adjustments need to be made, because remember, EDG, both maps they played yesterday, they started on attack, and those were maps that they struggled on, right? Those were halves that were clearly an issue when it came to the approach, and they could definitely have different protocols and plans going into bind, but you want to keep this competitive. knowing what yesterday held. So a Stinger in the hands of Kong, a Spectre for nobody, and then 3 Sheriffs around it. Meanwhile, everybody is stacked.
Yeah.
All 5 of EDG are here.
It's a hard read right now.
Lo and behold, that's where Paper X are headed.
And I wonder what the cue is for PRX to maybe abort, not fully commit onto this, but I think they're just going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, if EDG continue to hide as much as they can, they might not get the cue to abort. Now they're going to be pushing forward ahead of all this harbor utility as they try to take the fight. The guns on the other side just too good, though. Whoa, Jing on the snap just gets destroyed. EDG might have overrun them into this, but they're so weak. And the Thrash isn't going to connect. Fortunately for Kong, though, Forsaken had a classic out. Devi's left alone. Not a ton of HP. Both of them fall, but the Red Bull clutch comes through for Paper Rex. In the face of the rocket, the shots settle.
Jeez. Devi. I mean, he had to commit. You have no other option there. And maybe if Kong had a little bit more HP, he lives there and they win the round. Kind of feels a little bit like yesterday in that mode where they just can't close out the rounds. They bring it down to a 1v1. It just doesn't go their way. Great job from Devi. That's a funny one.
Go get him.
Again, early presence for Paper XA. And this time, it's not a fake. It's not a fake. Jing is already trying to getting out, invested the rocket. Something has been such a menace so far.
It's such a pace that they're putting on EDG right now.
Oh, the paranoia is good, but even when that connects, the kills come through. Very nicely done by Kong. To respond a little bit, you imagine that's going to call the rotate out from the spike back towards A. And Chichu, thinking the same thing, was considering B, but will now throw it back.
And Mind Freak, he took his timing here coming out of showers. He had to if he wanted to get any type of space, so gets info that Chichu is in CT. There could still be one player here, though, and I think that's why he's so wary. I mean, look at how cautious PRX are playing right now. They're waiting for the harbor wall, waiting for all utility. The molly? Oh!
A little bit of high ground found. Nobody's positioned, so concealed. Now the flash in his face on the swing. Settles the shots. Gets Mind Freak, a 3v2 still the way of Paper X. Now Kong's left alone. He's got an op in hand. Devi is weak, but that's another round the way of Paper X.
Good patience from Paper X on the refight on A. I mean, that was really, really nicely done. Waiting for Forsaken's wall to come back up. The molly from Mind Freak. It gets the audio cue that nobody had to drop there. And the trades, I mean, they were kind of going in the favor of EDG in the beginning. But when you're retaking with an operator, even if you're Kong, that's a tough ask.
Oh, yeah. Into a 1v2 like that as well, with no idea of where the other members are.
Yeah. That little jump spot from Forsaken, too, to spot out where Kong was, just makes it decisive, and they play together. They swing them together. Just like that. Kong is on a stinger, but he's so deadly with it, so it might be able to bring this one back.
Damn, try to get ahead of the stack. Really nice shot out from Smoggy.
It was a pixel.
I like this reposition a lot as well.
Yeah, this is the Omen shining right now. Able to play up close, get a kill, TP out. In this case, TP on top of this little weird high ground. I wonder if Jing wants to clear this. I wonder if he's aware.
Flash. That flash from nobody was so good. It went through the roof in Hookah to make sure that there was nobody pushing in sand.
That was very cool.
Forsaken has taken a lot of space into Octagon. He's the one with the spike. So there's got to be success found from Hookah.
Yeah, nobody has to drop here for PRX to steal this one away.
And it's not going to happen. Smoggy gets in on it as well as EDG find 3.
The B anchor's coming up huge for EDG. That was beautifully played from Smoggy. And then nobody just bunkering down in Hookah to clean up the round. Look at this shot. Ooh, on the run. That's that flash that you were speaking of. And from now on, for PRX, I mean, every time you push this Omen off of B long, you got to worry about that elevation. I mean, he could be anywhere now. It's something you're going to have to constantly clear. That being said, Forsaken will have that Harbor ultimate online. We saw how deadly it was the first time around.
He's invested B, but this time, present A. EDG are really proactive too. They're taking all of his space outside of sand. Smoggy's already rotating into A.
Such a good timing to be proactive too. They haven't done this once yet.
You move.
The Reckoning is going to suggest that they're going forward. The timing is so good.
It's perfect.
If they can land the shots, if they can clean things up, it's going to be great, and that's a spike!
Spike down
I thought
A.
the spike was further up. Something has his ult. They're going to have to turn back and fight for this area. And things slow down. They've come to a screeching halt. Forsaken on the swing, nobody on the shots.
Whole cat.
The Harbor down.
Time to hunt.
Now utility pushing forward. EDG are playing this really patiently, not forcing the matter in from spawn, not forcing the matter in from backside. Happy to hold the line as best as they can, but nobody finally falls. Kong on the swing, and he's overwhelmed. The contain has been lost, the spike has been picked up. And now it's a fast rotate from something B, while Jing draws as much attention as he can. Be a nuisance. That's exactly what he does.
30 seconds left.
Doesn't land the
Last
shots,
enemy
but
remaining.
the veil has been lifted. They've realized that the spike's not here.
Spike pla-
The Empress will go down. It's honestly what opened up that entire comeback into this round. And the Reyna, I mean, he's got full utility now. If he gets a kill, he can just
And he's holding
get out of dodge.
And he's holding the line on both spots to jump.
It's so scary playing against a Reyna like something.
He's still gonna have to win this 1v2 though. For Paper Rex, he's gotten it down to 1.
Whoa.
Tries to reposition. 23 HP. 1 step to the right. All it will take. Smoggy's holding the line. Anchored in, but now on the tap, spots him again. 4 HP now for the duelist. Something's creeping his way forward. He's got the knife out now, switching over to the Vandal. Not able to snap onto the shots. Can Smoggy get the defuse? Yes, he can. .36.
And it's EDG this time around, dictating the pace, pushing down Hookah. It got scrappy, it got scary, but they closed it out in that 1v1.
One enemy remaining.
That was so close.
He almost hits the shots, man.
Smoggy's been so good. Even yesterday, when they were getting decimated by Heretics, he was the star of the show for EDG. This time more of a team effort, and that'll cause a timeout from Paper Rex. You imagine now Paper Rex might play a little bit more spread of a default, or maybe just watch their back now if they are gonna play all 5 players towards one side of the map. They haven't had to worry about that yet, so, you know, it's okay.
It's just such a perfectly timed call from EDG. You mentioned it during the round. They hadn't done that.
Yeah.
They hadn't accelerated in that way.
And that's what I was looking forward to in that game yesterday, but they just didn't have their footing at all. They do a really good job of changing the pacing on what they do on the defensive side and the attacking side. I'm glad we get to see it now. That being said, nobody will have Seekers online, Pit available for Chichu. And, I mean, there's a lot of ults online that'll be coming to fruition for EDG. Only Seekers to work with for PRX.
Meanwhile, for EDG, you mentioned those ults all coming online. They've got to chain them together, though.
And look at the spread default that I was talking about. Now you see players on both sides of the map.
A pit used right off the bat from Chichu.
Now an early pit invested like this, it can really force the attacking side to be pushed into B or showers. But on the flip side of that, it can also cause EDG to have to keep a couple players there to protect his back.
That's exactly the approach that they've taken. But as soon as the Harbor utility goes up B, they've left him. Chichu's now on an island. It's all of EDG is B. Devi has his Seekers, and there's still plenty of time left in this round. But it's nobody who uses his first.
This bait setup B long. If EDG do get pushed off of B long here, that's when a rotation will have to come towards that A side of the map.
The Seeker's got a ton of value.
There.
Spotting a couple, I mean all 3, I believe. But they freeze again.
Right there.
Posted up outside of B, waiting for the right moment to strike. The flash is going to confirm presence once more. This has been a really nice cycling of utility by nobody. Now traded on the other side. The Seeker's going forward. Chichu happy to hold the other side of the map. While the fight ensues B. Devi, massive kills. A 3v3 now. The spike making its way at B as Chichu repositions. He left the pit. He rotates over, but now with 10 seconds left,
10
Paper X
seconds left.
trying to get back to A as fast as they can and get the spike down.
So much to worry about. You have to worry about short, but Devi, he's kind of ahead of it.
Wise to it, not able to land the shots the first time around.
That was a great jiggle from Chichu. He got the info that both players now are stuck in U-Haul, and he just has to wait for his teammates to push up.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Now Jing turning his attention back there. Devi falls. Jing cannot hold up.
Beautiful discipline from EDG. And Chichu taking the timing on the teleport, getting kills in hookah, and then wrapping all the way back around with the jiggle there. That was fundamentally sound from EDG. Beautiful. And that lead that PRX had, I mean, it's
gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. They had won I believe it was 6 rounds in a row at one point. This was just such a, I mean, you mentioned the discipline. It was beautiful to watch from EDG. But Chichu, honestly, had so much to do with it. I mean, we talked about the pit at the very beginning. His timing on hitting the TP, his wrap back around was perfect.
Now it's Kong with that showstopper. He gets bought up. Oh, he gets an operator bought up for him.
He's gonna have both. Last round of the half. Money to spend. What a luxury that is.
Last time PRX did this A short wall, I mean, they just sped up B, so that's why you're seeing EDG get proactive here, pushing through showers. All the info is theirs. And the rest of the B anchors for EDG, they're just trying to bait out all that utility early on and buy time for a rotate.
I really like this. Howdong, you mentioned all that info that they get showers, but they deposit Kong. They have Howdong rotating back. Meanwhile, Jing, doesn't connect on the rocket, slams into the wall, and Smoggy's there to punish with it. Nobody, the firing line as Smoggy joins in on the fun. The dizzy over the top. Almost everyone going the way of Smoggy, but Chichu's the one to clean it up.
It's electric in here right now. Smoggy played that to near perfection, tucking in the cubby, jiggling consistently, and then the Omen flash to secure the kills.
What a change.
Look at this. He played this so well. Look, the little tuck right here. And then just the back and forth pre-firing, waiting for that Gecko flash to come over the top. Wonderful.
The timing on that was perfect. It was Howdong who had left Kong showers, rotates back over it. The dizzy paves the way. We often talk about how Valorant is a family affair. We've got a couple of family members standing by for an interview.
I've got 2 familiar faces with me right here next to the stage. I have Auntie Pearl, who is Jing's mom, and I have Xcarit, Forsaken's brother. And you saw him on stage not too long ago as well. How are you guys enjoying Shanghai?
Very good. I like it here. Much better than Korea.
Oh, wow. Well, I know that you love Shanghai. Forsaken, I know this is Xcarit, sorry. You look like your brother, by the way. I know this is a bit of a nostalgia trip for you. You haven't been here for 7 years, is that right?
Yeah, it's been 7 years. Exactly 7 years I've come to Shanghai, so I'm enjoying my trip a lot after I finish my games. I'm just traveling a lot of good food and then meeting my old friend, and sometimes it's really fun for me.
Oh wow, that must be that must evoke such memories, right? And Auntie Pearl, I see that you have your props here as well. Did you make this? You said you have an interesting story about this prop.
Because this one was from last year. I brought it all along, and then the team has been very lucky. So yeah, it's here, it's back.
Oh my gosh, so this has traveled pretty much all over the world with you.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a legacy prop indeed. And Forsaken, the score right now is pretty close. So what do you think of the rest of the map?
I was hoping, of course, Paper X to win this game. Even I have a lot of friends in AG also, but still, I want Epic to win this tournament. So I hope, especially for Jason, I hope he can regain his confidence, because I know he's been stressed a lot yesterday. He talked to me, but I just telling him like just don't care about it, because he need to be reset and just play with his full confidence for today's match.
That's right. Just relax. You heard it from your big brother. So let's see if Paper Rex can close this one out.
Relaxing is much easier contemplated than completed when you're tied at 6-6 with elimination on the line. I mean, yeah, just relax, bro. What do you got to lose? It's fine.
And I'll tell you who's not relaxed. It's Kong. He was very active in the communication, just talking to his team, yapping like crazy. And that's a good sign for a player like him. I mean, he's really bringing the energy into this arena, into his team. That could just be the difference maker as well in a series like this when there's so much on the line. Elimination. Pride between the two teams. They played each other so much.
The last bout did go the way of EDG. But the problem is, they've now turned back over to the attack side, which, again, was a pain point for them yesterday. What adjustments did they make?
It's such a good wall to just delay any type of hookah rush or presence, and that flash to re-walk in, that's proactive.
The protocols were really nice, but the armor on Kong.
Yeah, those shots just didn't hit the mark for something.
I mean, he dinked him, but he had light armor in Classic. Yeah, that's what decides that. That's just crazy. It seemed like they had everything prepared, and fortunately for them, if something goes down, Jing and Dubai clean it up. The frenzies are perfect as Paper X get the pistol.
4 for Jing into that round. That calmness pushing through. And a lot of EDG's demise was against proactivity. This was a double proactive fight here. At first it was just something, then all of a sudden it's Jing on the rotate from A side, all 3 players pushing hookah. That frenzy could be so deadly in close range battles like that.
I'm excited for the rest of his defensive half, though, because that, I mean, you highlighted it. The harbor wall with the flash on the other side is so cool.
This is also very cool from EDG. Hero buying Kong, this Bulldog. We've seen in NA, at least, Oxy doing this quite a bit with C9. And it paid out dividends. They could really catch PRX off guard. Oh, they know now.
It's a heavy investment. The nade, not quite deep enough. But they've got him crunched. Something is here, but he's got nothing but an outlaw. But they're going to continue to push the matter. All playing outside of this TP. Weapons have been upgraded. Mindfreak's the only one who's got a rifle on the other side.
This is so awkward for PRX, and now when you're going against an outlaw, nobody has armor or the HP to deal with this. It's a one-shot kill. Smoggy can do some real damage. But they're so split right now.
Toxins going up.
I mean, even Chichu, a Spectre, can nuke down Forsaken or Mindfreak. Forsaken only has a Ghost.
Toxins
But he's going to get so much info as to where the play is. And if he can get away with one, just one, that's a victory.
Oh, he has to back up now.
30 seconds left.
The thing is, he only spotted one. So Mindfreak has to stay A. Unaware of the fact that both members of EDG have huddled up together. As the smokes go down.
This is such
now,
a close round.
13 seconds left. The paranoia out. It's not going to tag Forsaken. Still playing on the other side of it. The spam from Mindfreak not connecting. The warning shots have been delivered, though, and they've got to understand that's where the pressure's coming from. Forsaken on the swing. Mindfreak will clean him up, leaving Chichu all on his own. Spectre still in hand. 70 HP. The gun barrel. But the reposition is really nice from Chichu. He has too many things he has to clear, and not enough time to do it all.
That little barrel, I thought that was going to be the dagger into PRX. And then he would just have to play in the middle of sight, wait for the drop for Forsaken. It ended up working against him. That's so tough. But a really good eco round for EDG, that Bulldog buy. It makes it so PRX, if they want to invest into this, they're going to be broke in the next round. That got scrappy. I like that EDG are ready for the proactivity from PRX. And it wasn't that clean for PRX as well. If they want to do crunches like that, I mean, you got to have more utility. The timing has to be a little bit better.
Satchel out.
They're always decisive with it, though. You got to give them that. Oh, that second satchel did not go the way it was intended to go.
You see the layers of utility. A Gecko Molly, an Omen Flash, a Sky Flash, all to set up Kong to get that initial exchange, to come out on top, potentially get an entry.
Keep a close eye on that, because you imagine they're going to do it once more. Kong still pushing his way forward. Forsaken on the other side. Won't be around much longer.
The man just doesn't die to judge this.
You hear Wingman going forward. Jing has played this position so well, man. He buys his time and he strikes when everything is right. And now the showstopper not going to connect. I don't know where that rocket went.
Mindfreak took the head off of Howdong, so right couldn't get value. Yeah, couldn't get value there. With Smoggy, the reposition on short here, and nobody just finessing through the smoke. He finds the timing.
It's so perfect. Divide falls 2v2.
Last player
Nobody's
standing.
Left in a 1v1. Mindfreak waiting on the other side. He's got that Guardian in hand.
Oh, he's playing it so well.
He's buying so much time and then delivers the shots anyway.
The bobbing and weaving from nobody in that 1v1. It kind of just felt like he had a hard read on the situation on Mindfreak. He played that superb. And Jing, I mean, he really opened up this retake for his team. But nobody, he was the difference maker.
These are those little 1v1s that we talked about yesterday, that we talked about at the beginning of the half that just weren't going EDG's way. They're starting to turn.
And that's when playing against a team like EDG can be scary, because they do have really good fundamentals. They have good discipline in a lot of those moments.
And they've got fraggers.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can put all of those things together like they have so far, they've got a shot at this. Again, a really nice set of utility. The paranoid, the flash around the corner, and now the dog.
The nade will delay them momentarily, but there's still so much utility.
Oh, those satchels, not able to get him into safety. The spam on the other side is the guns from Paper X just not holding up.
And now he can get Seekers if he grabs that orb before the bomb goes down.
Something's got to judge, but at that distance,
Planted.
deciding not to fire.
I've got your trail.
Opting for the kill potentially instead.
Just secure the round. I don't mind
Out of
using
turn.
these Seekers as well. It could set you up to get those kills easier.
A lot of space here that they're going to have to take, and with all of the guns on the other side, I mean, that cove will certainly help, but how on.
Wait.
Oh, this has gotten messier than it should have. Chichu and Smoggy are able to keep them back, but that got real ugly for a second.
You can't count PRX out ever, and that's why the Seekers were invested early on. I don't blame nobody for using them in that round whatsoever. And PRX have just been force buying into these rounds back to back to back. Even with scrappy guns, they made it to a 2v2.
And Forsaken reads them like a book, man. As soon as the clove goes down, they've got to challenge it, right? There's no way you just let that diffuse come through. And so we're tied at 8. 2 ults on the side of EDG. They've been so much more decisive than they were yesterday. These attack halves have been so much more refreshing.
No hesitation. They're not worried about getting outshot, out-manipulated. They're just showing and going right now.
They have a plan, and they are sticking to it.
Look at this, all the utility.
It's the same set of utility we saw in the previous round.
And when you condition utility like that, it really can set up the future round. So they're looking at the long haul right now.
There may not be much more of the long haul left of this map. Concon going forward with rocket in hand, will connect onto Jing.
Chef's kiss.
Perfectly played, and look at where Smoggy is. Only able to find one though.
What?
Somehow, something gets 2. Concon on the snap, and something with the 3rd. Leaving the star on his own to settle the shots. The clip runs dry. Something with 4 and Paper X with 9.
He just got, what, 3-4 wall bang kills? That was through CT spawn. And you see players go for that, but it usually doesn't go their way. So maybe a little bit of luck. Getting 2 players with that.
We're going to look at it one more time.
Look at this. He did see the tracers, but to get 2?
Yeah, that's...
And then the 3rd right there? Oh my goodness. Spams to get the kills. It's so hard to beat PRX when they can win rounds like that. It's, what are you supposed to do? You can't do anything about it. And now you're on an eco round.
Raised it.
The ecos have been messy though.
That's a good opener.
Yeah, but the second kill the other way. Not really what they need. Something playing up close on the other side of this wall. Puts the Lear out, gives the space up. Meanwhile, Paper X slowly tightening around the map.
Proactivity from PRX. Pushing through short. But Smoggy, he was checking flank. He just goes back.
Mindfreak can have a feast with this, and that's exactly what he does.
Down.
Shake's just satcheling forward. Yeah.
Right on his head. Yep. Seen that one before from this guy.
And so we turn our attention to the next round, a very quick precursor as to what we've got, because there are a lot of ults in play here, and we're nearing the end of this map. Paper X hanging on to a 2-round lead. They've got the Reckoning. They've got the Orbital Strike.
And you can really invest all these ults into this round because it'll put EDG on such a bad buy for the next that you're sitting on almost match point at that point. I mean, you are sitting at match point. You should be, at least.
And Jing's halfway, more than halfway to his rocket as well. So even if you invest all of those, that's still something that's going to have to be considered later. PaperX have set themselves up very nicely.
EDG need to try to bait out at least one of these ults early on and not die, not drop early. If you invest the Viper's Pit off the rip here, I mean, well, might not be good because the ultimates from the other side, they could just cycle them.
We're about to find out how that plays out. Jing getting up top and dropping on him, but nobody had his back.
So clutch.
The pit's still up. Can it be dodged by that? The TP out. Pit still in play. Something on the flank. Smoggy waiting. But is he aware of how close he is? Drops down, not able to settle the shots. PaperX still with the fight into this, but they've got to get past this pit.
It's too hard.
The biggest thing in their way here.
Last player standing.
A 1-for-1. Something left to his own devices. Playing his time as best as he can.
Not even going for it.
No, at this point. Is he even gonna get away with the gun? No. Chichu hunts him down. EDG gets to 9.
EDG did a really good job of not falling to any of those ults early on. And for PRX, they wasted so many ults in that scenario.
Dude, nobody saves that round.
Yeah, he does.
Because Chichu was the one he was hunting for, and he almost had him.
PRX jumped the gun too early in that retake, and EDG took full advantage of that.
One round between the two. PaperX still with 2 ults. You know, we talked so much in the previous round about the setup that PaperX have for themselves from an ult perspective, but EDG are slowly getting near a fever pitch with all of theirs. Howdong, Kong, and nobody.
If they can win this next round, the economy of PRX is going to be in shambles, and they might not even have to invest any of those ults, but they can get a lot of them online.
They're committing to this A. They're committing to this A, and it's a 1-for-1. Meanwhile, the Reckoning will continue to cause problems, but Howdong manages to sidestep all of it. Nobody does too.
What a good split. And now, with that dog being proactive in the CT spawn, they have the info that both players should be on the flank.
And they've seen 2 bits of utility as well, the dog and now the flash.
They're too disciplined in these scenarios. Their post-plant win rate is sky high.
It was good yesterday, it continues today. There's no way for them to get in.
1 enemy remaining.
The reflink from Smoggy, it's clinical.
Something again will try to save. He wasn't successful in the previous round. And I don't even think he really has a shot at it this time. Deals a little bit of damage. They're gonna get out, right?
Whew. Just in time. Smoggy's so good, Doug. This guy's sitting at 20 kills on Omen Bind. All momentum going the way of EDG now. Look at that opener onto Jing.
It was steady.
So clean.
No micro adjustment of the crosshair, nothing like that. Just steady swings right into it.
Perfect.
It's literally perfect. You're absolutely right. And so now a timeout called again. We're tied at 10, and that's all that PaperX have left. If there's another timeout, it will come courtesy of Edward Gaming.
EDG on a really good spot right now to bring this one home in front of the home crowd, win their first map in this arena, in this tournament. PRX, that round, what, 2 rounds ago, that one was, it was just rough. It's rough losing a round like that. You invested the Brim ult. Your timing wasn't quite there on the retake, and if your timing's not there against a team like EDG, they do really well in the post plant, playing off of each other, playing the crossfire game. And then Smoggy going for the reflanks like that. Now we're seeing why EDG decided to switch off the Brim and put this man on the Omen.
Just so much more ability to get active.
Caution here.
And sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, and Omen's a controller that can do that.
Oh, they're gonna go aggressive into sand, and that's where they are. Jing has a rocket in hand. Something can flash through the wall. This setup is gonna be devastating if they commit to it. Kong tries to get away, and he's managing to dodge the rocket. Paper X put a lot into the back of that punch, and EDG slip it. Now they can reset.
Yeah, it's that push and pull. And that Thrash was picked up again, so they're able to use more utility now to clear out more space if they decide to do so.
Dude, to go from that start in the round to nothing, no sound being made.
You want more? Here's
A
more.
flash to confirm there wasn't a flame coming through. And now Thrash, as you mentioned, getting its second cycle out. Something dinked him there. Nobody, down to 12 HP.
Almost got his head taken off.
That's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, suddenly a freeze to the round now.
Again. And that's twice.
They're so worried about flank, as they should be. That's a fake TP.
Do they bite?
No, they're not. There's a rotation coming in from Mind Freak, but the utility from EDG.
You're right, he's already headed to B. Something popping the ult,
Seconds left.
trying to get across. EDG are slowing things down. This has been a problem for them before. If they can settle though, they should be okay. Forsaken is still gonna be on the rotate, but the kill's all coming through for Paper Rex! And now the controller utility has arrived. Divide perch
Player standing.
over the top. Smoggy has to frag his way out of this, but he's surrounded. Paper Rex get to 11.
A good hunker down from Paper X, just holding hookah. Something he got picked off early there, but the trade's going Paper X's favor. This is that beginning. Such a good job from Kong not going down to that rocket, being dropped down to 5 HP. But it's that timing of when EDG just seem to not know what to do in the round and they're just stuck in a corner where it just works against them.
So issues reared their ugly head yesterday. And that feels like the first time we saw hints of that, right? First time we saw any inkling of things like that.
Yeah.
So Paper X, a lead late in map 1.
And this is such a cool setup. You have two players on different elevations. You have a Brimstone back sight, a Harbor close up. The Showstopper, it could kill one, but it should be traded.
He's got to get out of there. There's the rocket invested.
Wow.
Again, the satchel utility is just so good, man.
And you're not ready for something on top Chuck after Jing has fallen off.
Apparently you're not ready for Forsaken either, as he gets 3. A flawless round for Paper Rex.
From start to finish, that setup was so beautiful, so clean.
Close, I can taste it. Come on.
So close, they can taste it, for sure. And the Reyna flash to back him up as well.
Down A. One enemy remaining.
That was textbook for PRX. This will be the last time out for Edward Gaming that you were speaking of. They've played a really, really good map so far. It's just these exchanges where PRX come out ahead. They're just so clutch.
Man, what's the plan on the other side of this? You think for EDG here, for this to be as competitive as it was, in the shadows of yesterday, you've got to feel really good about your performance so far. And then you remember, we've played them before. The last time we played them, we beat them. We beat them on this map. And yeah, the compositions are a little different, but a lot of that feeds into confidence going into the map. And for them to have a couple of these 1v1s go their way and to get this close really feels like this map, if it doesn't go their way, that's an opportunity lost. That's something slipped.
It's such a tough spot to be in because you've done so many things right. And sometimes it's just not in your control. Sometimes you play against a team like Paper Rex that just, you know, there's so many heroics from individual players. And then when you lose a round like that to a setup where they're all playing together.
They just satcheled both of them up with one satchel.
Yeah. That's the previous round, something was up on
Yeah.
truck. And the outlaw buy for Forsaken here, there's a lot of players on light armor right now for EDG.
Yeah, this buy is not great. And of course, something goes aggressive. Tries to turn the flash scoop in his face, cannot find anything else.
Perfect utility from EDG.
And that's a big first step. If they want to take this to OT, that's a massive start. But Forsaken has not been taken off of his perch.
And when EDG freeze into these rounds, so far in this match, they haven't really backed up and gone the other way.
Yeah.
So on the opposite side of the map, Devi got info,
got your
and
trail.
Forsaken now is proactive.
But Kong is too. Aggressively going forward. Mike trying to slam the door on the round. And does his damage. Jing cannot find the target. Devi's left to rotate back A. With the Phantom in hand. Full health, full armor. How does he get past through this? Smoggy's weak, yeah. Nobody's taking a little bit of damage, yeah. But a 1v3 is a big ask. They've got money, so why not go for it? 2 away from Seeker, so why not go for it? But he doesn't find a single thing other than the bullet between his eyes. EDG are still alive.
Oh my Smoggy. Even on the TP onto site, I mean, his barrel was in the face of another player. Executes him. And this is that good utility used from EDG. This time when they freeze in the round, that was scrappy for sure. But Smoggy came out on top. But this time when they freeze, it works to their benefit. They wait, and they wait for the utility. They allow nobody to get onto the site because of the Omen smoke.
Last round of regulation. And again, a heavy stack from Paper X, A short. Both duelists and a controller left to hold the line. I mean, they're all here and they're all playing on this tiny little sliver on the other side of the wall. Forsaken so far up here. Meanwhile, pushing all the way up into showers. The orbital strike will send them apart. Smoggy will fall. And Forsaken, the space he had taken was so good. A 5v2 now. It's disaster, they crumble. At the foot of Paper X, they cannot stand. Map 1 goes away, Pacific's #1 seed.
What a map from both teams. I mean, hats off.
Sunset on the other side of this break. We'll see you guys there.